People always seem to talk about the Sith Triumvirate. They're so strong. They're so overpowered. They break this, they break that. How do we beat it? But people seem to have forgotten the real OG Triumvirate for Galaxy of Heroes. And that is the Resistance Triumvirate. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of those videos that I have to make. As you guys know, Finn Zeta is one of the best bang for your buck Zetas out there. In a video a while ago, I went over all my Zetas in the game and I gave Finn Zeta the best bang for your buck reward. One Zeta for Finn transforms the Resistance faction so immensely. Now, before we get started, I gotta give quick props to Grandmaster Broda. This guy is the one that keeps me motivated to keep looking into the Resistance faction. He's the one that got me to make a big video last year covering the Resistance faction and how important Finn Zeta is. So big shout out to you. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. But he showed that even with just one Zeta, Finn Zeta, and the Resistance Trooper and Poe, he can take on so many Traya teams that are causing a lot of problems for people, especially in territory wars, and now we're starting to see a lot more Trayas in arena. So as we're talking, you're seeing footage behind me of Grandmaster Broda going into his own arena. This isn't a test account or anything like that, showing you how he's taking on Traya-led teams with just 3 Resistance characters. And I'm going to give you a quick overview of why this is working, and I'm going to show you more full teams that you might want to use in territory wars as well as arena, and show you the limits if you do want to try out this strategy. The number one rule to make this team work, ladies and gentlemen, is to look at the fastest character for the opposing team, because Poe has a base speed of 262, and you need to make sure that Poe outspeeds the other enemy. And for the most part, Poe can. He's faster than most of the Sith in the game that you're seeing. He's faster than Traya, faster than Darth Nihilus, faster than Darth Sion, faster than Sith Trooper. Thrawn has the same base speed as Poe, so Thrawn's going to be one of the most frequent characters you'll see in a Traya team. That's going to be the fastest character most likely. So if Thrawn's on the other team, for example, make sure your Poe can outspeed Thrawn, and that is very well possible, assuming you have the right mods to meet your opponent's mods. Pretty much beyond making sure Poe has the right speed for your server or your territory war that you're going into, the rest is pretty easy. Just make sure there's a lot of potency on Resistance Trooper and Finn, because you need to make sure Finn's special ability that he constantly spams is applying exposes and stuns, and you also want to make sure Resistance Trooper's basic can constantly apply expose. So making sure their potency is very good is all that's important, and speed's not as important for them, because with the Finn Zeta, if you don't know how it works, every time you're hitting an exposed enemy, Resistance characters are getting a ton of turn meter, so that addresses your speed issue, and they're reducing the cooldowns of their ability. So technically, you want to make sure you're constantly getting exposes out there in the field, so making Poe fast so he's always taunting, and getting Finn and Resistance Trooper to hit those exposes and apply exposes is key. So obviously, you're not going to go into a territory war battle or arena with just 3 characters. If you want to, you like to live life on the edge, but obviously if you're going to go into battle, you want to fill in those last 2 slots to maximize your potential to beat these Traya teams that we're seeing everywhere nowadays. And I'm going to give you some examples on some ideas that work in those last 2 slots, and consider the fact you might not have BB-8, R2-D2, Jedi Training Grade General Kenobi, because you might be using him for another team in territory wars, or maybe because you just don't have those characters. So we're going to start off with this team right here. And Holdo, as much as I don't like her in the Star Wars universe, she actually plays a really good role in this team when you're battling up against Darth Traya. All right, so let's get into battle, ladies and gentlemen. And although I don't like Holdo too much in the Star Wars universe, she actually plays a very important role here. And as we'll see in a moment, and Rey's here mainly for the huge damage outputs. Let's go. Let's pop up some exposes. Unfortunately, we didn't get an expose or buff immunity on Sith Trooper. Very unfortunate. I would like if we got one or both of those. So at the beginning, if you're going up against Sith Trooper, which is one of the more difficult Traya teams, you need to get rid of that taunt right away with this special ability. All right, now we can go work on Darth Nihilus here. I'd like to try to take him out as fast as possible. And Rey, if you have the Zeta on her, not mandatory, but if you have the Zeta, getting dazes on Darth Nihilus is so important. But if you don't have the Zeta on Rey, use Holdo's AoE ability, because this applies daze on everyone, and daze is especially critical when Darth Nihilus is on the other team, because if you're applying debuffs to whether it's Darth Traya or Darth Sion, without daze, Darth Nihilus is going to gain turn meter, and that can really mess you up if you can't control Darth Sion. So luckily we're good. Let's get some buff immunity over there. No exposes on Darth Nihilus, unfortunately, but we can go and hammer away at maybe Traya. Let's see if we can start working on Traya here. Get offense up. All right. Let's start working on Thrawn. Let's hit some of those dazes. That's another good thing about the AoE daze. You can hit all those exposes that are outside of Sion's taunt there. Let's see if we can start hammering away at Darth Nihilus. Very nice. We got some exposes everywhere. Let's just whack them all. Excellent. You know what? How much damage can we do here? Come on, big hit. Oh, come on. All right. Let's see. Let's just keep putting some exposes on him. All right, let's get buff immunity on Cyan. Because as you kind of see, without buff immunity on Cyan, you're going to get stuck behind this taunt quite a lot. So trying to land those buff immunities as early as possible is definitely very helpful. You hit that expose. But as you see, they're having a hard time taking a turn because I'm keeping the turn or the expose train going as long as possible with the Finn Zeta. Let's get rid of Nihilus. There we go. So our biggest threat is pretty much gone. We don't have to worry about Darth Nihilus gaining turn meter, increasing our cooldowns, annihilating us. So I feel pretty good once I took care of him. Let's, I don't know, we should probably take care of him. Let's get some more AoE dazes out there. Very nice, and pretty much from here, I feel really, really good. So if there's nothing interesting, I'll just fast forward it so you guys can see the end. One thing I do have to point out, Traya will be a bit tricky to take out because she's getting so much additional protection every time we're applying exposes on people, but you just gotta be patient. You should be able to take her out in the long run anyways. And there we go. So we're pretty much game, set, match. Traya, it's good. As I said, she's gonna take a little bit of time because she has all that bonus protection, but other than that, this was really easy to do. Really, we have no legendary characters on this team. Only one Zeta is doing all the work, and that's Finn versus that other team. They have like 8 Zetas or something in full swing. So hopefully this kind of gives you guys an idea on how this lineup works. I can just go full auto it now, but it's very powerful on how this one Zeta can go to town. So by far one of my favorite lineups to use with Finn Zeta having Holdo and Ray in there. If you're going up against the Traya wall and Territory Wars, or you're just seeing a lot of Trayas in your arena and you don't have any other way to do it, Finn Zeta, that one Zeta is a powerhouse Zeta for offensive purposes. Let's say you got a personal vendetta up against Holdo or whatever the case may be, or you just don't have time to farm her, you don't have her unlocked yet, or you're using her for a different team in Territory Wars. I want to show you some options with Resistance Pilot. Now, not as good of a replacement for Holdo, but it's good if you don't have Holdo, because I do prefer Holdo in here, mainly for the days on Nihilus, super important, and all that other stuff. But unfortunately, we don't have that, and we do have a daze with Ray, but when she has a debuff, she can't apply dazes, unfortunately. So let's just go to town. Let's get some big hits over here. All right, and here's the ability we want to spam. Outmaneuver for Resistance Pilot applies the expose. So there we go. Let's get our train going here. Let's get a buff immunity on Cyan, por favor. No buff immunity there, so we have to keep going. If I could take out Nihilus as early as possible, that would be great. Now, we got to get a cleanse or something, or else we're going to be stuck behind Cyan for a very, very long time. All right, buff immunity, please. There we go. So Ray doesn't have to be stuck anymore. Let's come on, big hit, Ray. Come on, your moment of glory. Hey, there we go. Nihilus is out of the picture, and we should stop getting those health downs to apply to us. That should help out quite drastically. Let's get some more exposes. No expose there, but that's okay. Let's see if we can finish off Cyan. Let's see, buff immunity doesn't really matter as long as there's buff immunity on the tanks. I don't quite care. Big hit. All right, not that big. I was hoping for a bit more. We have Traya's leadership in full swing right now. Let's see. Let's get a let's just hit this guy over here. Very nice. Come on, you keep using the basic. Come on, Poe, do some work, buddy. There we go. Come on, basic. Special. Almost done there, and let's just start doing this. We'll do that. We won't hit Thrawn unless we really need to. Come on, big hit, Ray. We need you to do some work. Ugh, that was disgusting. That was nothing. All right, now we got to just deal with pretty much Traya. As I said, Traya's going to be a bit tricky. All that bonus protection is really kind of working against us. But, I mean, as long as you take your time, shouldn't be too much of a problem. Let's get that stun over here. Very nice. Keep working on Cyan. He should be done right here. Ugh, close. Let's just finish. No, let's hit the expose. Making sure you hit those exposes, the number one thing, because if you're not hitting enough exposes, your Poe won't taunt. And that's the number one concern you got to have when using this team. All right. Let's keep hitting a Sith Trooper right here. We got the taunt, very nice. Get the offense up. Get some more exposes. Come on, oh, we're running out of exposes. So here you'll probably see I didn't hit enough exposes to be able to finish off, to get post taunt up. But now we're just gonna worry about Darth Traya. As long as we keep hitting her with expose and we keep getting a bunch of turn meter, she won't be able to beat us. That's the good thing. Come on, get some exposes. So unfortunately they got our Poe down. That's not going to be too good, but we should be fine. Even without Poe, we should be able to carry on the rest of this battle. Poe should help a lot, but I think we're going to be good in the end. Come on, one more big hit, and Ray, finish it off. There we go. Even with Poe isolated towards the end, which isolated Poe it's a bad thing, we still were able to pull off the victory. So again, very exciting. No legendary characters, only one Zeta really working this team. So very cool to see that such a very minimalistic team can do a crazy amounts of work up against some serious firepower on the other team. So at the beginning, I promised you guys, I'd tell you what are the limits of using this team. I don't want to oversell you guys, and I want to make sure you guys are fully aware of what are the limits of this when you're going up against someone. Luckily, most of the teams you're going to battle have Thrawn, Sith Trooper, Traya Lead, as well as Darth Nihilus and Sith Scion, so we're able to beat that. But if you happen to go up against a team that has an Enfys Nest instead of Thrawn, or especially Count Dooku instead of Thrawn, because Count Dooku's the popular territory war member to plug in. Count Dooku is the second fastest character in the game, and again, unless your enemy has very bad mods, very hard statistically to get your Poe to outspeed a character like Count Dooku, who is way faster than Poe Dameron, or even it's hard to get him to outspeed Enfys Nest, who's about 9 points higher than Poe when we're looking at base speeds. And lastly, don't expect this team to do well on defense. Finn Zeta has been known not to do well on defense. It's an offensive powerhouse, but when it's on defense, the AI has no idea what it's doing. So that's just mainly a bad AI programming here. But there you go. Those are pretty much the main drawbacks or the main limits to this team. But overall, hopefully the video is helpful. I really hope this video is helpful for people who are addressing those Traya walls and having a hard time beating it, because Traya walls and territory wars are one of the most difficult things in the game right now, or even in Arena. Darth Traya is starting to become a lot more popular as people start phasing out Emperor Palpatine as the leader. So you guys let me know down below, Resistance Triumvirate or Sith Triumvirate. You guys let me know down below in the comments. And if you did enjoy the video, go ahead and leave me a like, comment down below, and subscribe so you're not missing a thing. And until the next video.
Party Richter, Party Richter. Down, 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 down. Party Richter, Party Richter. Son of a bitch. Party Richter, Party Richter. Down, down, down.